Hey y'all, my name is Marcie Duplantis, and I was born and raised in Texas. I live here in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm a graduate of Centenary College, and that was what brought me to Shreveport. I feel like this place has become home, and when people ask me where my hometown is, I say it's Shreveport, Louisiana. So a little bit about my testimony and who I am. I'm a contemporary Christian artist. I'm a songwriter, I'm a singer. I play the piano, I play the guitar, play the ukulele. But first and foremost, I'm a singer, as God gave me a gift within my heart to share songs that I have written. So a little bit about who I am and how I grew up. I grew up in a small town by the name of Jasper, Texas, and I had two awesome parents and two great big sisters. Cradle to grave, you know, they're my ride or dies. And I loved my family. We definitely went through our hardships, but through my faith, made me who I am. I was very, very close to my grandparents growing up. In fact, sometimes I say that they kind of raised me, because I can't remember a time when I didn't go home and spend the entire afternoon at my grandparents'. My grandfather was a minister, and my grandmother was a beautiful homemaker. And they always instilled in me the need to glorify God with my talents, to use my voice to bring glory to the Lord, to draw people closer to His heart, and to draw people closer to the foot of the cross. So, in that respect, I started growing up. I went to college. I realized I was pretty good at music, and that would be a good avenue for me. Maybe I'd get a job in that field. And when I graduated college, I'm a classically trained opera singer, which sounds really cool, but it's a really hard niche to get into. When I graduated college, I went from straight out of college, and I thought, I'm supposed to go get my master's, I'm supposed to audition for all these programs, but it was just like, no. And no matter what door I went to, it wasn't like I could even get it to budge. It was like it was locked. So God presented me with a wonderful job, and I began doing the one thing I said I would never do, which was teaching. And from there, I began to feel as if I was walking in the path that God had created for me, that He had numbered my steps, and He was delighting in the details of my life. And I was then a little bit more at peace with all the no's I was getting. So then I decided I was going to start doing one scary thing a day. And sooner or later, I found a friend of mine who was connected to some songwriters in Nashville. And I sent a really scary email saying, I'm going to ask you if I can be a part of your songwriting retreat. And the guy was like, yes, please come and spend time with us in Nashville. And I began writing some songs. So through that, I've wanted to share a little bit of a testimony to one of the songs that I've written that I'm hoping I'm going to share with you today. So the song I wrote was called Walls, and I wrote it with two fabulous friends of mine, and could not have made this moment and this music without them. I had been raised in the church, and I had been nourished in the church, and then I began working in the church, and then I began being hurt by the church. And I had founded these really beautiful friendships and relationships that I had so much trust in. And slowly but surely they just started to disintegrate, and they started to fall apart. And I felt like I was the brunt of why that was happening. And then I realized that seasons change, and that that's okay. And so from that, I had built up so many walls to protect myself from the hurt, from the pain, from the emptiness that I was experiencing. And I built up walls. And I realized that in that fight or flight mode, I was protecting myself, but I was keeping myself from the goodness of God. And I was protecting myself from the blessings that God wanted me to let in. So then I wrote Walls as a testimony to ask God to proclaim, to tear down the walls so that I could be a vessel for His glory all the days of my life.